This is Vinyl 4. That is Craig. I'm Shawn. Here we go. Another round. This is episode 6. It's round 5. And the reason this is episode 6, but round 5 is we did rounds 1 through 4, picked 4 from each, which gave us our first Sweet 16. So episode 5 is a wrap up to talk about the first 16 that we picked. Now we're on to the next bunch, if you will, the next round.
Yeah.
Really excited about this. We're going to keep doing this every week. So the idea, if this is your first episode, and you can even go back to just episode 5 if you want to get caught up, you can see what our first 16 selections are, but it's 16 classic albums every week pulled from the Rolling Stone 500 head-to-head matchups. Start with 16 albums. By the end, we're down to 4. 12 do not make it. 4 survive. And then every week we pick another 4, hence the name. What is it, Craig?
Vinyl 4, baby.
Vinyl 4. All right, we're going to jump right in. Craig, I am just so excited. I've been looking at my list. On the last episode, we decided to go ahead and start doing that, right? We would preview at the end of every episode what next week's matchups are. That gives everyone a chance also to go reflect on it, maybe make their own picks, do it out at a bar or at a party if they want. And then they could tell us how wrong we are by going to our email, which is vinylfourpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. All right, let's jump right in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Your first matchup to pick from is number 44 on the Rolling Stone list, Patti Smith, Horses, or number 122, Various Artists, which is the Harder They Come soundtrack, which I kind of think of as the Jimmy Cliff album, but I guess it's a little bit more than just Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah, he's the primary aspect of it for sure, but he's the big wig. This is a no-brainer for me. No offense to Patti Smith. I like Horses. It's a great album. It's appropriately positioned too, but The Harder They Come, for one, the documentary, the movie, it's not a documentary, it's a movie. The movie is excellent. And the soundtrack is an absolute classic. If you want classic reggae without having to hear just Marley, listen to this album. It's amazing. Jimmy Cliff is the cornerstone of it. It's excellent. Ask Kevin. He and I both agree it's one of the best reggae albums of all time.
It is really good. And that's where not only The Harder They Come, but also Many Rivers Cross. And
beautiful
plenty of other great songs. Yeah. Yep. Amazing. All right. I knew you were going to pick that. I'd already circled it before we started. Okay.
All right. Shawn, your first matchup is 308, The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, versus 236, Patsy Cline, The Ultimate Collection.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to just move quickly here on this one. Not a lot of drama for this. I'm a huge Beatles fan. Beatles Hard Day's Night all day long.
Yep.
I love Patsy Cline. Amazing talent. Left us too soon, but it's hard to vote against the Beatles, especially in this first round. So Beatles for me. Hard Day's Night.
Love it.
Next up for you. Oh boy. We talked about this on the last episode. This was going to be a tough one for you.
We did.
Number 54, Ray Charles, The Birth of Soul, versus 429, The Police, Outlandos d'Amour.
Yeah. So this, that's 54 versus 429, by the way. Police at 429, Ray Charles at 54. I think that's pretty accurate. I think I'm going to go with that lower number. Ray Charles' Birth of Soul is just a classic. I love Outlandos d'Amour from The Police. That's their debut album. So Lonely, Roxanne, some great songs on that album. But Ray Charles is one of my all-time favorite artists, and that album is just a stone cold classic. So
that's a tough choice for you because you love both of those so much.
I do.
All right.
All right. Your next matchup is, this one's tricky. 163, which is Prince, 1999, versus 91, Elton John with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, this was one of the tougher decisions I had to make for this episode, for this round. And I thought about this a lot because this is where Prince turned the corner for
Absolutely.
me and for most people. A lot of people were in the know about him. We were pretty young at the time, so we weren't into the club scene. But those first couple albums, Controversy, Dirty Mind. I mean, he had already was making quite a ripple in the music industry.
Yep.
But then 1999 comes along, and MTV is around, and he's tailor made with the look and the moves that he had. He was tailor made for MTV. Little Red Corvette, 1999. It's such a great album, but I can't go against Elton John. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
It is an embarrassment of riches how many great songs are on that album. I
agree.
Elton John and Bernie Taupin, they were absolutely peaking at that point. There's only one song I think on that record that I don't really like, and I can't remember the name of it.
Mhm.
That is just an unbelievable album. You think about, I know we're all kind of worn out on Candle in the Wind and Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting and Benny and the Jets, but those are iconic songs. And that's just the starting point. There's 4 or 5 other songs on there that I'd put up higher than that. So Goodbye Yellow Brick Road for me.
That was my guess, but that's a tough choice. I think that's one of the toughest choices we've seen either way. Okay,
Yeah.
what you got for me next round?
Well, speaking of tough choices, Craig, number 192, the Flying Burrito Brothers, The Gilded Palace of Sin versus 297, the Smiths, Meat is Murder.
Okay, Graham Parsons, absolutely amazing songwriter. The Flying Burrito Brothers, and this was their album, the Gilded Palace of Sin. I'm so glad that it's there, just like I'm going to be so happy when the Byrds get in there with Sweethearts of the Rodeo. But Meat is Murder. Oh, I mean, I know this is 297 over 192, but and it's not. I don't even know if that's my favorite Smiths album. It's definitely up there. I honestly put all the Smiths albums on equal footing. I really do. I love the band, and Meat is Murder to me from start to finish is probably their most cohesive. Like just from start to finish, just a banger. It's got How Soon Is Now. It's the huge song that people know. Got to go Smiths. Meat is Murder.
I knew that was going to be tough for you though, because those are both iconic. I'm ready.
All right, your next matchup, and this one's tough too, depending on which direction you want to go, and it's a huge variance. So you've got 346, the Talking Heads with Stop Making Sense, versus 36, Carole King, Tapestry.
Yeah,
I have no idea where you're going on this, by the way.
I've thought about this one a lot as well. I actually went back and listened to the Carole King record. I know, so Stop Making Sense. Actually, Yacht Rock Review is coming back around early next year.
Yeah,
when they do that show, and I'm there. I can't wait to see it. That album, it's just the songs on it, the performance, just absolutely incredible. But I'm going with Carole King. That is one of the best singer-songwriter albums I've ever heard. She wrote all those songs, even the ones that had already been recorded by other people, such as You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Those were either written or co-written by Carole. She was an unbelievable songwriter prior to this album. You talk to anyone in the 70s that listened to records and owned records, they all owned Tapestry for a reason. It was the record to own at one point in time. And it's a beautiful, beautiful record. Her voice, it's such a personal, intimate record. The playing on it is so good. It's hard to choose against that. So I'm going Carole King. It's a tough matchup, but Carole King for me.
Has there ever been an album cover that fit the album better than that one?
Oh, what a great observation. I can't believe I didn't say that myself. I'm mad that I didn't say that myself. You are so right. It is. You look at that album cover and you kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And then you listen to it and you go, yeah, that's it right there. Great observation. I love that album cover. I love that record. It's so warm, and on vinyl it really is so warm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, great pick. Very happy with that. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess this is my final matchup, huh?
This is your final matchup. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
223, U2 War.
Yep.
Versus 449, The Police, Synchronicity.
Okay, so you have a pretty big variance here. Not just number wise with 223 versus 449, but you have the third album from U2 because you had Boy, October, and then you had War. This is their breakthrough album. It's huge. And you have what stands to be probably the Police's biggest album with Synchronicity. But I will say, I've said this before. I think I said it on the Schizophrenic Music podcast. I may have said it here. There is such a big flaw to Synchronicity, in my opinion. The side B is flawless. It in itself has three of the biggest hits they've ever released. But side one could be so good, and it's still good. But there's Walking in Your Footsteps, which is just a regrettable song. It belongs in a Disney film, but not on a Police album. And Mother from Andy's. Oh, Andy, why? Why on earth did you put Mother on this album? Why did you put this on any album? It's worse. It's worse than Revolution Number 9. It is horrible, horrible song. It ruins the entire flow of the album. I have to go War. I have to go War. That album is just so big. So in this episode alone, I've eliminated 2 albums from one of my favorite bands. But I'm just being honest. It's all about matchups, and at War, it just to me hovers over Synchronicity. So,
well, I agree with you completely. And if you had gone the other way, I was going to pick that one up.
Yeah,
that may be my second favorite album by U2 behind Unforgettable Fire. Like a Song, Two Hearts Beat. I mean, Seconds. I think Like a Song is on that album. Seconds is on there.
Seconds.
Love Seconds. Oh my gosh! And then you got the hits.
Yeah,
Sunday Bloody Sunday, and you end the album with 40.
I know.
Are you kidding me? That we talk a lot about kicking an album off and the best song we've ever heard, to begin an album.
Yep.
I don't know that there's a better way to end an album, especially an album that's that, because it's a pretty aggressive record. People that aren't familiar with early U2, they were still kind of working beautifully working through more of a punk sound, and definitely a very aggressive in your face style, which was so good.
Yep.
And to end the album that way,
I know.
And the live version of 40 is just crazy good. All right.
Yep. That's a sidebar. That's a good, for those of you who haven't followed us on Revital, you just came here first, or even if you have, regardless, that is a good topic for the future, is not only albums that start off strong, but end strong. I would love to have a top 10 albums that are the best at beginning and ending. I love bookends. And that's a good point.
We should do that. We should include Kevin on that. That would be fun because I bet he's got a couple of choices too. Let's do that for an upcoming episode. All right.
Got it.
Stay tuned, everyone.
All right. Last matchup here for Shawn. And this is a doozy. I'll elaborate on this here in a second because there's a couple here that fall in the same category. Okay, so for you, 352, Shawn, Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Rust Never Sleeps, versus 59, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Chronicle, double best of.
Yeah, I don't love this only because you probably are thinking the same thing. I don't love the fact that a greatest hits package is paired up.
Exactly. That's why I was stumbling earlier. I was trying to think of a way to articulate it because I'm so frustrated. I don't like seeing these greatest hits for bands that have legitimate classic. I mean, you have Cosmo's Factory. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. They had enough great albums. I get it if it was, earlier in this podcast, I think it was episode 1, the Drifters Golden Hits.
Absolutely.
That makes sense because they don't really have albums That was more of a singles band. I would even say for the Buzzcocks, singles going steady. That makes sense because they weren't really an album band. CCR was an album band. I don't know how many. I
Oh
mean,
my
there are 4 or
gosh.
5 records that could be in the top 500 on their own. So to me, this feels a little bit like cheating to have the greatest hits up against Neil Young. I thought a lot about this, Craig, and this is really tough because I do love Rust Never Sleeps. It's one of his best albums. It's to me not as good as Tonight's the Night or Harvest or After the Gold Rush,
Yeah.
but it's way up there. He really flexes his muscles. It's probably OG grunge. It's probably the original grunge album. I mean, Crazy Horse gets after it on this record. And the fact that it's got, a live side. It's a great record. I just listened to it about a week ago in preparation for this.
Yep.
The problem I have though is, man, that CCR record, every song is incredible. And I know some of those songs have been overplayed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burned out on some of those songs. But I'm going to go with Neil Young because it's a true record. It's a classic.
Yep.
If this were Neil Young versus Cosmo's Factory, I'd go Cosmo's Factory. I really would. I would pick an individual CCR album over Rust Never Sleeps, but I've got to go with Rust Never Sleeps. It's a complete album. It's really, really good, and it really was a very influential record. All right.
Love it. Yeah, you're thinking along the same lines as me. Just with a band like CCR, I mean, legitimately every album they released could stand a chance to be in this list. At least 2 or 3 of them. At least, like you said, Cosmo's Factory has to be in there. So that was when I saw that, and then we had another one that we eliminated earlier that was greatest hits, and it's a little disheartening. I don't know.
I will make one quick comment. I agree with that, except for the last album, which I actually have never given much listen to, called Pendulum. I heard it's terrible. I've heard it's one of the worst records ever made by a popular band, right?
I forgot about Pendulum.
Yeah.
Rewind. remove that from the equation. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah. It's like Clash's Cut the Crap. It's bad.
Okay. Say no more. Yeah. All right. Okay. We have our choices. I'm going to quickly review your 4 and then the cast off. So for anyone who's here for the first time, what we now do is we got to narrow it down. Craig has his 4 winners. I have my 4 winners. He's going to have to narrow it down to 2. I go to 2. That makes our vinyl 4. Before we do that, there is I guess we could call it the redemption round. We have a redemption round.
I like it.
Where, I think we go with that from this day forward. We have a redemption round where the 8 records that have been cast off each week, if Craig goes first, which he did today, he gets first choice. Next week, I go first. I get first choice. He can pick up one of these and trade it out for one of his winners. So, Craig, your 4 that you've selected, The Harder They Come, various artists. You picked Ray Charles, Bertha Soul, The Smiths, Meat is Murder.
Okay.
And then you had U2's absolute classic, War. Okay. Sorry, I was blanking out for a second. So U2, The Smiths, Ray Charles, and not Jimmy Cliff, and The Harder They Come. I still want to call it a Jimmy Cliff album. Okay. The cast-offs. Yeah, Patti Smith, Horses, Patsy Cline, Essential, The Police, Outlandos d'Amour, Prince, 1999, Flying Burrito Brothers, Gilded Palace of Sin, Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense, The Police, Synchronicity, and CCR, Chronicles.
I'll go and tell you, I don't want to replace any of the top 4 that I have. I'm good with what I have right now.
All right. Well, I am going to do a replacement of one of mine.
Okay.
And I might surprise you here. So my 4 are the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Carole King, Tapestry, and Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Rust Never Sleeps.
Okay.
I am actually, I'm going to trade. This is a bold move by me that I don't know that I'll love in a week. I am going to trade out Neil Young for Prince 1999.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Oh man, it's so tough, but I had a lot of struggle leaving off the Prince 1999. I just love that era of Prince.
Yep. I agree.
And it's such a great album. So now I end up with Prince, the Beatles, Carole King,
and Elton John.
And Elton John. Okay.
Yeah.
We are now ready to make our final selections.
Ooh, this is tough.
This is going to be tough. So while you're thinking about it, as I've done the past couple of weeks, I am going to jump over to a really fun book. I'm going to buy you a little bit of time, buy me a little time. Have this really fun book that it's called the 10 Albums That Changed My Life. This week I'm doing Ian McCullough from Echo and the Bunnymen.
Ooh.
10 Albums That Changed My Life. This is really cool. So his 10 records are The Velvet Underground and Nico.
Okay.
The Doors, self-titled. That is so absolutely perfect for for Echo and the Bunnymen.
And they did cover People Are Strange. So.
They did cover People Are Strange.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have The Clash, self-titled The Clash.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bullocks.
Man, that's on everybody's list. Okay.
Yeah, I know. The Fall, Dragnet. Never got into The Fall.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. Rolling Stones, Big Hits, also known as High Tide and Green Grass.
Yep. Okay.
Then he's got David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Nice.
This guy loves him some debut albums. The Ramones debut record.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to absolutely, let's see. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then he has REM, Automatic for the People. I just,
oh my gosh,
that is a lot of respect. That's awesome.
That's incredible. That makes sense. What might have shaped some of his latter day stuff, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's really cool that he had that. And then the last one he put in there is his own Ocean Rain. Yeah, hard to argue with that.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
All right.
I hear something like Automatic for the People, and I think they put out an album called What Are You Going to Do with the Rest of Your Life? Mm-hmm. It's a really, really subtle record, and that I feel like it didn't meet the heights of Automatic, but it had that same type vibe. Maybe he was inspired by that. Okay. Yeah. All right. I've got some tough decisions here because I don't want to really eliminate any of these. I will spare people the mystery. U2 War is definitely in. So 223 is definitely in. The last three are going to be really tough. I'm going to eliminate The Smiths' Meat is Murder. That is really... I don't like it.
Gut-wrenching for you. But you still have The Harder They Come and Ray Charles, which are two of your favorites.
Yeah. And look, I'm partly tempted to go with The Harder They Come because I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of reggae representation on this list. But Ray just means so very much to me. And The Birth of Soul is... I can't. So I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I'm so sorry, Roots Reggae. You are near and dear to my heart, but I have to go with a prior love and a more consistent love, a longer, lengthier love, and that would be Ray Charles. So I'm going to eliminate The Harder They Come. So my final two are the Ray Charles, The Birth of Soul, and U2's War.
Oh, man. Well, my original plan when I scoped this out last week was you were going to pick Synchronicity over War. I was going to take War, and then War would have been in my last two. So
Yeah.
either way, War was going to make the Final Four.
Nice. Okay. Shoot.
That is such a great
Maybe I'll hold on. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so now I've got choices here. So my favorite band of all time is the Beatles. Just put that out there. Anyone that listens to other podcasts probably has heard me say that before. So I've got the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, Prince, 1999, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Carole King, Tapestry. So when I start thinking about also getting rid of the mystery here, yeah, this is tough. The first band that I'm going to put out there would be the Beatles, but I'm putting it out there to take it off. It's gone, Craig, and it hurts me to do that.
I get it. No, I totally get it. It'd
be different if it was about 4 or 5 other records of theirs. I love A Hard Day's Night, but it's the first one to go, so I'll take that one out. Now I'm down to Prince, Carole King, and Elton John. First one in is Elton John for me. Elton John survives. It's one of my favorite albums of the 70s, without a doubt. So now I'm down to Prince versus Carole King. Prince, 1999, one of the greatest funk and just R&B records of all time, and definitely of the 80s, and definitely was a game changer versus one of the greatest singer-songwriter albums of all time. I'm going to pick Carole King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know until this moment that would be the one. I knew Elton John was going to make it all along, but yeah, that Carole King record is really special. And
it is.
It's even the songs that You're So Far Away. I mean, I'm not into all kinds of sappy music all the time, but that album, just for me, it's just it does it, like we talked about earlier, the warmth of it. So yeah, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Carole King, Tapestry, U2 War, and Ray Charles, To Birth the Soul. Congratulations. They're the next Final Four. I love it.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Now we're going to, real quickly, before we leave this episode, we're going to go ahead and give everyone the matchups for next week. So everyone can be thinking about this, including me, including Craig, because we have some decisions to make. I'm going to rattle these off, Craig. If you're okay with it, I'll run through them.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll just run through them, and then we'll end this episode. I go first next week, so if we stay true to our order, here is the order. I'll go first with number 190, Elvis Presley, From Elvis to Memphis, versus 496, Bonnie Raitt, Give It Up.
Okay.
Then we switch over to you, number 34, The Band, Music from Big Pink, of course, their debut album, versus 175, Carpenters, Close to You.
Okay.
Next matchup, White Stripes, White Blood Cells, number 498 on the list, versus 418, U2 Boy. Next up, 321, Radiohead and Amnesiac, versus 471, LL Cool J, Radio.
Okay.
Number 200, AC/DC, Highway to Hell, versus number 45, The Band, self-titled The Band, their second album. Then we have 467, Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head, versus 237, Jackie Wilson, Mr. Excitement. Next matchup, 209, Pearl Jam 10, their debut record, versus 400, Tom Waits, Rain Dogs. And final matchup, Black Flag at 341 with their album Damaged, versus number 31, Bob Dylan, Bringing It All Back Home. Oof. Man, there's already some tough choices there that I'm actually, this week, I'm going to go back and listen to a couple of these. I've got some tough, there's 2 of these matchups here that are going to be really tough for me. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a fun way too to go back, and honestly, that's why I like that we're doing this in advance now as well. When we first started this podcast, you and I there was no preparation to it in terms of the second that we hit go, we found out what our matchups are. I like this better because it's also having me go back and revisit some of these records, which has been really fun.
Yeah, I think sometimes that helps. No, most of the time it helps, but especially because some of these matchups are just insane. And they're so different. I think that's the biggest thing too, is you get some that match up and you're like, when you get the Police and U2, okay, there's some symmetry there. But when you get Radiohead and LL Cool J,
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Or
big.
Black Flag versus Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
That's something right there. I saw, what was the other one I noticed earlier was the what was it? The Jackie Wilson, Coldplay versus Jackie
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that will be round 6 that we'll do next week.
Awesome. Okay.
I can't wait. Looking forward to it. Thanks everyone for listening to the Vinyl 4 podcast. Follow us on Instagram, also called Vinyl 4 Podcast. And I will start, Craig. You know, I've created the account, I've got the logo out there and everything. I'm actually taking some social media lessons from my daughters so that I can start really posting.
God bless.
And do an effective job. Yeah. I need all the blessings I can get. All right. Thanks everyone.